Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I'm getting ready to stitch out the pineapples from Hello Sunshine. Yes, we did have a small hiatus, short hiatus, but we are back and we are going to stitch these out. I'm going to go ahead and do these four first. These are going to be 4x4 designs, but if you add the background quilting, it's going to bump you up to 4.5 by 4.5. So I decided, here are my cupcakes. Here are my ladybugs. I'm going to go ahead and use my 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. And I'm going to do 2 at a time, pumpkin 1, and then I'll do I've got pumpkins and potions on my mind. I'm going to do pineapple 1. You do that twice. And then I'm going to do these 2. And then I'll do these 2. And then we'll do the large pineapple, and we'll probably do that in maybe the 7 by 12 or the 6 by 10. So let's go ahead and hoop up. Poppy, behave. If you're barking, you're going to get kicked out. So here we go. Momo is showboating, and he has a chew, and she wants it. And that is a girl that's not afraid to say what she wants. And I leave this on the roll. I leave it rolled up. This is my muslin. It's my 90-inch muslin. I cut it big enough for the hoop, and then I clip it up so it doesn't get in the way. And this is how you can maximize your usage. And when I hoop, I like to have maybe about 1/4 of an inch hanging under. Something like that's too much. That will get in the way. Like that. Something like that is kind of perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. We might have to open up the hoop a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just open it up a little bit. Pops. There we go. Make sure your inner hoop is flush with your outer hoop. Feel to the back. What you don't want is that the inner hoop to pop out while you're doing your embroidery. Pull in a little bit just to get rid of any of those lumpy bumpies. And we are hooped and ready to go. I'm going to slide this onto my machine. Well, before I slide it on, let's load our design, because sometimes it won't let you load your design if it's too big for the hoop. Here are my colors that I'm going to be using. These are the colors I've been using so far. We'll have to make a little Hello Sunshine thread set, huh? Let's come on over here. Hello Sunshine. You need a good chenille brush. So this is what I'm using right here. Just something that's nice and abrasive. Excuse me for a moment. Somebody needs to be removed from the room. Isn't that better? No more barking dogs. Okay, so we're going to go into embroidery. And here's our handy dandy spreadsheet. This is on the Facebook Sew Along page under files. And for pineapple 1, we're doing 2 of these, and we're going to do both of them with the plaid design from Red, White, and Bloom. These are just designs that I selected. So let's go to my USB. And, ooh, look at that mouse. Look at him moving around. And we want, what was this? Red, White, and Bloom. So I have that on here. Here's my quilting bundle. Red, White, and Bloom is a great quilting bundle because it has a lot of different I don't want to call them generic designs, but designs that aren't themed that you can use with any quilt. So we are doing plaid. I wrote plaid. That means plaid 1. Embroidery files. I pulled just my PES, and the size we want is going to be 4x4. So let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to set it. Let's choose our hoop size. This was a 7 by 12. I'm going to go to my, let's go to my 9.5 by 9.5, and I'm full speed. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. We're going to add the next design, and then we'll move it. So the next design is going to be the pineapple. So we're going to touch add. Let's go. I'm in my top USB, and we are going Hello Sunshine. And I think these are going to be chenille blocks, right? So let's go chenille. There's the 4x4. So we want that one. We're going to go ahead and set it. And it says centered. So we're going to leave it right exactly the way it is. And why don't we go ahead and, let's see, we're going to group that. So let's go ahead. To group this, I'm going to go ahead and touch this button right here, and I'm going to touch the pinks. That's going to make it one design. So I move it into the corner. It's going to move it all together and not one at a time. Did that work? Let me go back here. It's grouped. And I said, okay. Okay. So now when I go edit, move, both of them move together. A lot of times I don't group it in this screen. I group it in my embroidery screen because I don't have to touch any buttons. It automatically groups it in that screen. Now I want to see if it'll let me make a copy right here. And I'm hoping it'll let me copy of both of those together, which it did. And now I'm going to move that over to the other corner. Oops. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do those two first, and then I'll add the next two. Okay, so, or should we add the next two? Let's do these first, and then I'll go ahead and do the other ones. So we're going to say okay. I'm going to touch embroidery. That's going to take me to my layout screen, and that's where we stitch out from. Do I have a bobbin in there? I do. Let me slide on my hoop, and then we are going to color group. Color group means that, oh, you know what? I don't know if it's going to let me color group. It usually does not let you color group if your designs are overlapping. I have my pineapples overlapping my plaid, but maybe it looks at it as one design from the previous page. Let's just try it. Doesn't let you do it when patterns are overlapping. So we can't do it. It's okay. We're going to do one at a time. So I'm going to hit layout so I can see what's stitching out. I'm going to hit this button so I can fast forward. And first thing it wants to do is it wants to have me grab a color I can see. So I'm just going to grab this. Put away my deco bob. I had that out for piecing and then I didn't even need it. All right. First step we're going to do is placement line for the batting. Don't forget to hit your thread button. That seems to be my downfall. And grab your batting. We're going to lay that down first. And let's also grab our background fabric. Your background fabric should already be stabilized with Shapeflex. Spray the wrong side of your batting and the wrong side of your background fabric. Remember, wrong side of your batting is the nubby side. It's the bumpier side, okay? This is the spray I use. This is Ganold KK100. Don't worry about this. You get a little bit of pulling. That's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lay this down first. Right in that square. Sometimes I cut my batting a little bit big. And here is my background fabric. I'm just going to center it to this. I'm actually going to move it over just a little bit to the left so it's not overlapping too much with the other piece. But remember, all of that's going to get trimmed off. Oh, you know what I should also do? I'm going to move it up a little bit so it doesn't overlap with the other one. Okay, we're going to put it up like this. So I'm going to be like ½ an inch over on the other sides. Look at all that excess. That's if you're not very good at centering. They give you a lot of extra. Okay, next step. This is where we're going to go ahead and skip steps. This step is the tack down for the batting, so you can trim. We don't need that. Placement stitch for the background. We don't need that. Tack down for the background, and we do need that. So let's go ahead and stitch that. This is going to pretty much be your cut line too. And normally I like to have about 1 inch all the way around, but I don't want my pieces overlapping. I'm going to tickle it into the corner. And there you go. We want to do our quilting stitch next. That's going to be the plaid, and you can pick whatever color you want. Yellow might be kind of cute with the pineapple, but you know me, I like to blend. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my taffy. Taffy goes really well with this pink, or should I use the other pink? Ooh, you know what? I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this light pink. This is Pink Lemonade. Can you believe I'm using it? There's so much contrast. You know me, I'm scared. I'm scared of picking something that's going to stand out too much. This is definitely going to stand out. I guess I'm living on the edge today. Living on the edge this Sunday. Okay, it's going to do the quilting design. Look at your screen. Make sure it's showing you the quilting design. It is. And I'm just going to go ahead and let it do this. Sometimes when I have something swirly, I like to have something straight. And then we're going to start following the instructions for the chenille. So, right now it says, refer to the color chart on page 34 to complete the blocks. See page 7 for hooping and applique. It wants you to, let's go to page 34. They've come a long way with their instructions. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. First thing we're going to do is pineapple placement line, and then we're going to place one piece of fabric. I'm going to go ahead and keep this so I have both pages available to me. We'll use fabric as my, fabric is going to be my bookmark. For my spreadsheet, we need the fabric, don't we? Okay, color doesn't make a difference. We'll leave the color that we have in there right now. Color doesn't make a difference. We're going to do a placement line and place one piece of fabric. When you do chenille, there's usually 4 pieces of fabric. One piece that's going to be the background. That's going to be one of these yellows. And then the other 3 are going to be for the chenille. So I'm going to go ahead and give this piece some spray. Here we go. Lay it down. And then it wants you to put in your yellow. I have corn flour. Corn flour, one of my favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and take out that pink lemonade. I'm going to put in my corn flour. I'll add these colors to the spreadsheet. This is one of those things where I've just been adding the colors as I go. Okay, tack down for the pineapple, and then we're going to trim. That is just fabric, so I'm going to go ahead and just use my snips. My favorite snips, these are the Havel's Snippies. Snippies. And now you're going to trim. All right. Anytime I can use snips, they're really my favorite, but sometimes you need a little bit more heft. I'll come in with my double curved. There we go. Looking good. Next step. Once you do the placement line for the leaves, color doesn't make a difference, so we're just going to go ahead and lay that down. This is your leaf fabric. The green stripe. We're going to put this down. Then we're going to do the tack down. Da-da-da-da. Make sure you cover the whole thing. Tack down. Color doesn't make a difference. Go ahead and you can just leave that yellow in. We're going to trim. to it a little bit easier. Uh-oh. Momo's out there. He wants to come in. Cut to that stitch, but don't cut the stitch. If you do cut the stitch, it's okay. It's going to have a decorative outline. But you want to get nice and close. I'm going to try and do pineapples. And the other thing I want to do tonight, bicycles. And the bicycle design is so cute. It's one of those designs that I think you could just like put on anything, on a bag, on a t-shirt. There we go. Does that look adorable? Okay, pineapple decorative outline. This, it does want to be in yellow. It's going to do the pineapple part. Ooh, let me get that down. So I'm going to leave cornflower in there. Go ahead and do that decorative stitch. Then you're going to do the leaves satin stitch, whatever green you want. And then the leaves decorative top stitch. I'm going to take a look at this. So you may do a little bit of a darker green. And then a lighter green on top. Okay, I'm going to grab some greens. Let's see what we're vibing on. Okay, so it's calling for kind of a medium green, and then it wants to do the leaves decorative top stitch. So, what do you think? Should we go this and this? Let's do that. Right? It's a little bit darker here. This is going to be aloe. So I'm going to do aloe, and then we'll do clover down the center. Aloe, we love aloe. Let's do aloe. Aloe is always a good color. So that was cornflower. We're using aloe, and then we're going to take clover and go right down the center. Should look great. So you're going to have to get your next 3 pieces ready, and that's going to be for the chenille. Let's see if I can find mine. I've already lost it. There they are over here. Oops, sorry, my knee was hitting that cord. 24 minutes of stitching total, which is really like probably 45. Cute. Okay, I'm going to put in my clover now. It's going to do a decorative stitch right down the center of that satin stitch. Da 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 dun, dun, dun. Oop. Always on guard. Australian Shepherds. Here we go. Might be a little thick. It's going through all that thickness. Ooh, that's kind of fun. I thought it was just going to be like a little running stitch, but it's not. Something even fancier. Little thick there, don't worry. If your needle breaks, just go up in size, get a thicker needle. I usually embroider with a 7511 anti-glue or an 8012 Microtex, and I don't even know what's in there. So this is step number 7 on page 34. So we're doing this step right now, number 7, leaves decorative top stitch. Now we're going to place your chenille fabric on pineapple. You're placing all 3 pieces. We're going to put our cornflower black in, our yellow. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, that looks cute. I was a little worried that aloe was too dark, but I think it's perfect now. Now that I have the decorative stitch on top, it's perfect. I was like, oh, am I going to have to change that? I was thinking maybe I might have to do clover with white, but no, I like it just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to lay down these 3 pieces of my yellow. I already lost them. I don't know where they are, so I'm going to grab my other 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to lay it down right on top of this pineapple. I'm not spraying anything, but I'm going to kind of hold it a little bit. So this is going to do your basting stitch that's going to hold this down. And then the stitches that go across that we're going to come in between, those stitches are going to get removed. How did I lose? Oh, there they are. In my pages. Okay, you're going to need a good pair of scissors with a good tip. I'm going to go ahead and use my big, hefty double curved so I can cut through all these layers at once. You're also going to need your seam ripper. Where's my seam ripper? I want my good ones with my tweezers attached. Here they are. Now it's doing this fancy stitch. Once it's done with that stitch, let's look at the main page of instructions. This is what it wants you to do. So right now it is doing this step right here. Stitch the chenille stitches, which stitch a creative stitch pattern that mimics the diamond texture of the pineapple rind. It will also stitch a basting stitch around the shape. You're going to trim all 3 pieces of chenille fabric close to the basting stitch. So we're going to trim all the way around. We're going to remove the basting stitch. So then you're going to pull that out with your seam ripper. And with fine tip scissors, gently lift the top 3 layers of the fabric and cut a straight line down the horizontal channel. So we're going to cut down the center of each one of these, right down the middle. Oh, you need your chenille cutter, which I have. Let me grab that too. And then you're going to rough it up. Rough it up. So we're not going to use scissors. We're going to use our chenille cutter, and I'll grab that too. Okay, first things first. We're going to go ahead and trim around the basting stitch. So here we go. Oh, let's pull that out. If you want to cut the layers all at once, just use a pair of scissors that are good enough for that. And you can cut really close. If you cut this stitch, that's even better because we're going to be removing that basting stitch. Now, I can't get through all these layers with my snips, and that's why I'm using these. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I really lean into that stitch because if I can remove it by trimming around here and cutting that stitch, that's even better. Okay, if you didn't get it, now you're going to come in with your seam ripper. Let's get that stitch out. Seam ripper, get it out. And then we're going to get our chenille cutter. How silly of me to think I was just going to cut down the center. So if you don't have a chenille cutter, then you're going to use your scissors and you're going to cut down the center of those rows. But let me show you how easy it is with a chenille cutter and why you want to get one. They're kind of pricey, but once you see it in action, you're going to be like, oh my God, I need that. If you just saw it, you'd be like, oh, I'm not spending the money on that. But I'm going to demo it and you're going to be like, oh my God, I need that. I got to have it. You know how sometimes you just don't see the value in stuff until you use it or see it demoed? Especially if you did it the old-fashioned way. Like if you had, and if you have like rough edges, don't worry about that either. Chenille cutter, where are you? What drawer did I put my chenille cutter in? Here it is. Ta-da! Okay, so you have different settings on your chenille cutter. And I tend to use mine small. I was going to say medium, but I guess small. That's where I kind of leave it. So you can go ahead and turn. Which way do we turn it? It says turn to select guide. So this is your guide selector. See, so now it's at the medium because that's where the blade is. Now it's at the large. Okay. Large, large, and then my small. You know what? I'm going to go medium. I think this calls for medium. And then you just have your blade in there. It's right there. So we're going to take this and put it underneath the layers of fabric. See that? Let me have you get a better view. You need a better view. Okay. And I'm going to just push it right down the center. It's going to go through all those layers all at once. I'm just pushing this little guy. It probably could fit my large. Should I try that? I don't think I've ever used the large setting. Oh yeah, here we go. And just push. Okay. Did you just go, I need a chenille cutter? Otherwise, you have to take your scissors. Patrick is saying he needs it. He needs it. So there's your cuts. Make sure you went through all 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. If you didn't, just pick it up and go through another layer. Don't want to cut through the bottom. That is your base. And now you get your fancy chenille brush. So the instructions say to use a file. No, don't use a file. And it's just like, it takes forever. You want this. This is what you want. It's a chenille brush. Okay? And rough it up. You just go, I'm going to rough you up. See that? Look how rough it is. Oh my goodness. And you're going to have all this like thread that comes out. It's going to be so rough looking. Get the edges. Go around. Just think about who you might want to rough up. Like, oh my goodness. Remember Lance Savitsky, who used to tell me in middle school that I had a mustache? Lance, I'm roughing you up. Like Lance Savitsky's ever going to watch my video. Oh my goodness. Is that so cute? And now you are chenilled. You have all that texture. So cute. If you want to get in there. And he used to also, Lance, remember when you used to call me mosquito bites? That's right. I'm roughing you up. I'm just kidding. Oh my God, do I have like unresolved issues? Patrick said so much baggage. I was just being silly. Just being silly. Okay, you look so good, Pineapple. And you are chenilled. And you can go as chenilled as you want. You don't even have to chenille it. I remember doing one of my first projects and it said to chenille, and somehow I just missed that entire step and I just left it. And it looked really cute. All right, next one. Let's do the next one. We are on to the next. You're just going to go in order. I'm going to go ahead and slide my hoop back on, and we're going to do everything we just did again. Slide on the hoop. You could get some tape and kind of clean up this mess that I made, but that would be like for perfect people. Perfect non-lazy people. Perfect non-lazy people would clean up this mess, but people like me just keep going. They go, oh, nobody's going to see that mess. And they just keep going. Okay, batting and background fabric. Go ahead and spray those. was I? Had to pause the video. Okay, I'm going to spray the wrong side of my batting, nubby side. That goes down. Wrong side of my background fabric, shape flex side. Go ahead and spray those. Da, 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 da. Whoops, a daisy. Sorry, hit my filming arm. Lay down your batting right inside that line. If you go a little over the edge, that is fine too. Lay down your background fabric. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it a little overlapping the other one. I'm probably about 1/2 inch on all sides. Lots over there, but that's okay. Because remember, when you trim it, we're going to press it and you get trimmed to that outer line. And now we're going to skip some steps. This is tack down for the batting, don't need it. Placement stitch for the background, don't need it. Tack down for the background, need it. And whatever color you want to do, I would just choose a color that contrasts. You don't want a color that's the same because it's hard to fussy cut it later. Contrast. I'm going to do this exactly the same as the last one. I mean, that is pretty much as, you know, you don't want to have any less than that. That's like 1/4 inch. Have at least 1/4 inch. Sometimes you're going to need that. Let's put in our thread for quilting. If you look at your screen, you should have your quilting stitch next. And the quilting stitches, so this pattern predated background quilting. So with the help of Kathy Bolin, we went ahead and chose some colors. Chose some designs. She was so brave and fearless when she started the spreadsheet. I did make a couple of changes, but a lot of it is the same. Background quilting. And then we're going to follow all the same steps that we did for that chenille pineapple. Okay? And then guess what? We get to do it 2 more times. We're going to do pineapple. This is pineapple 1 done twice. And then we're going to do pineapple 2 and then pineapple 3. I'm not even going to look at my instructions because I think I have them memorized. All right, next step, I'm going to put in my yellow, which is, I'm using cornflower. Cornflower is a must-have in your thread collection. And this is going to be placement stitch for the first layer of your pineapple. And you should have 4 of these, so grab one. Only one is going down now. Give it a little shot of spray, wrong side. This is the spray I'm using, Ganode KK 100. If you want to tape, tape. Don't let me pressure you into anything. I just always recommend what I do. Okay, we're going to lay it down. Tack down. And I spray in this. This is my dime spray tent. It's like one of those little pop-ups, like a little pop-up tent. Put a little piece of cardboard in there. My cardboard gets dirty and then you can throw it away and replace it. Okay, we're going to go in with our snips and we're going to go ahead and trim this. You want to get close to the stitch. If you don't, that decorative stitch threads can stick out underneath, but come on, we're doing chenille. It's going to look messy anyway, so if you don't get them all, it's okay. This is where you go, where you can figure out how much of a perfectionist are you. I think I'm a perfectionist when it makes a difference and sometimes when it doesn't. And maybe I'm conflicted because sometimes it does make a difference and I don't care. Sometimes I just want to be done. Right? You guys know the feeling? You're like, oh, I've been working on this for a while. Let's just get done. Or sometimes it's late at night and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Or sometimes you're so into it, like, I really want to be working on pumpkins and potions. And I'm like, Jeannie, you need to be able to finish what you start. All right, I'm going to leave that same color in. We're going to do the stem. Here we go. Here's your pineapple stem. Or this is the color that we have selected. These stripes. Oh, look. Piece of tape left. Let's clean up. See? When it's easy, I'm willing to do it. But I didn't have to go out of my way. Tape was just there. It's like it was meant to be. All right. I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. Here we go. Let's cover that up. Tack down. And then we're going to trim. See that nice, warm, friendly welcome? That was Momo saying hi to Patrick. He gives us that nice, warm, friendly welcome too. Momo, quiet.
Enough.
All right, let's trim her up. You want to do a good job trimming this. You know why? So longs are free? Because you might have barking dogs. No, Momo. Plus, these are projects I want to do. So I'm going to do them anyways. And then I love that you guys find these helpful. I love when I get emails from people that say they found me through the videos and that the videos were such a help. And I mean, I love that. I love knowing that I helped somebody. Because I could have used some help. My first Kimberbell quilt, I never even started it again. It was Jingle All the Way. I mean, I still have it. No, I can't even say it started because it's barely started. I did the holly berries like 3 times and I was convinced something was wrong with the digitizing because it kept puckering. And what I realized is I just needed to, okay, you're going to do the decorative stitch around the pineapple leaf in your cornflower. I needed to stabilize it with Shape Flex. That's, if I had just, whoops, do you see that? We're not threaded. Then it wouldn't have puckered. And then the other thing is, if it had puckered, I could have fixed it. I could have just pressed it out if I knew how to do that. I am going to go back to the beginning of this. If you ever get started and you're not threaded, this goes to the next step. This goes to the previous step. Or the beginning of the step that you're on. And someday, you know what? Wouldn't it be great someday if I just stitch that out with you guys? Because there's other people who want to do Jingle All the Way, right? Let's just slide that one in there. When are we going to fit that one in? Someday when I'm retired and all I do is sew. Well, it was shaking off before, and I can't even imagine. Like, I always tighten it with a screwdriver.
I just like it when you check it.
Yeah, I do check every once in a while. Because it's scary when your foot shakes off and it breaks a needle and you don't know what's going on. And you're like, oh my God, my machine is broken. I gotta rough this one up a little more, like right there. I need some more chenille. Okay, I'm gonna put in that aloe again, which looks so good with the clover, but not so great by itself because it's a little bit dark. But with the clover, it looks amazing. I do like to show this too. I don't cut some people cut their thread, grab it at the needle and pull it out. I unthread. So I don't pull back, although I did for probably like 8 years because I didn't know you weren't supposed to. But I just unthread it here. Once you get to step number 2, it just falls right out. Unless your foot is down. If your foot is down, the trapdoor is down, the tension disc is closed. So make sure foot is up, that'll open up, and then just unthread it. Right? Why cut it? You don't need to cut it. But that's what we used to tell people to do. Cut it at the top, grab it at the needle, pull it out. Thread her up. Don't forget to hit your threading button. I forget probably 25% of the time, maybe even more. And now it's going to do the decorative stitch on the top part of the pineapple. You can trim if you want, if you're bored. It's just trimming this stuff. What's that? Okay. Chenilled, not chenilled. Chenilled, not chenilled. See the difference? You can decide. You can stop right here. You go, you know what? I like my pineapple like that. Go ahead. Just do your top stitching. Be done with it. But if you like this, which I think is really fun, because it's textured, then you want to go ahead and finish the whole thing. And don't forget, you need your chenille cutter. Here it is. Mine is set to large. And this is 5 minutes of stitching. Go clean up your sewing room. Patrick's hanging out. He's about to go on a bike ride with one of his manly men friends. Alright, get your pineapple 2 and 3. Let's get our pineapple 2 and 3 fabric. Here's all my pineapples. Pineapple 2. Ta-da! Pineapple 3. Ta-da! And then we have large pineapple. I'm going to put that one to the side. We're not there yet. How about we do all pineapples tonight, and then tomorrow, quilting through the seasons embellishments. Because I know you think I've given up on that one. I have not. Because what do we have left here? We've got pineapples. Oh my God. We'll have gone through all of these 4 rows. Oh, I think I did this. Hello, sunshine, life is good. Sprinkle kindness like confetti and enjoy the little things. Those are done. Bicycles, watermelons, mason jars. There's not that much left. And flower blocks. Not too much left. I know I told you to go clean your sewing room. I'm just sitting here. They were barking. You know what I do need to do? I'm working on those serger pants. I lost one of the pieces of my pattern. You know, it's probably here in my sewing room somewhere. Ooh. Too dark. Perfect. Okay. So that decorative stitch that goes down the center of your satin stitch, that's like necessary. You could do something like wild and crazy. I was thinking I would just do this in white. I know that's so wild and crazy. But I really like the aloe and the clover together. Okay, don't be scared of that thick sound. Don't be scared of your needle breaking. You can just change your needle. Okay, here we go. Gorgeous decorative stitch. This is a minute of stitching, and then we're going to do the chenille. So you want to get your 3 layers of pineapple. 3. And we're going to lay those down next, okay? And while that's stitching, I'm going to find that pattern piece. Oh my God. Is this really it? It was just sitting here. I found it. See? Glad I didn't retrace it. I was just looking at my mini quilts too. We got to get those started. All right. If you love this, just like this, you could be done. If you want it to be chenilled, which I think is super fun, you're going to lay down these 3 pieces. No spray. Go ahead and kind of hold your fabric though so it doesn't pucker, but watch out for the... Uh-oh. Did you see that? Well, that stitch is going to come out, but the other stitch isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my cut button. I'm going to just take it out. You do need to change it to, you do want to change it to the yellow. Especially the one on the underside, because I'm being lazy. Okay, sorry about that. Put your corn flour in. That's what happens when you don't look at your instructions. I'm going back to the beginning of that step too. There we go. Corn flour and thread your thread. No need to cut. If you're new to my videos, I love singing to you. I've got the music in me. It's not good music, but it's still music nonetheless. Okay, here we go. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. Make sure I'm covering everything, just so I don't have to trim that thread out of there. Basting stitch. Watch your fingers. Okay, I'm using my 6-inch Fermoy double curve. I'm going to cut all layers all at once. And I am going to also attempt to cut the basting stitch at the same time. Which just means cut close. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. That wasn't done. I stopped it before it finished. My goodness. We need the pretty stitches, the other stitches that hold everything down. Sorry. Got excited. That's why it was like singing music at me. It's going ding. Not done. Okay, those stitches are permanent, okay? The ones that go around that I was trying to cut, those were basting stitches that you're trying to remove. So let's go ahead and pull that back a little bit, get my camera out of the way, and I'm going to try to cut all 3 layers and the basting stitch all at once. If I get it, great. If I don't, no big deal. And, doing a pretty good job getting it, actually. I'm better at cutting with my left hand. That is my natural cutting hand. But I'm pretty good at cutting with my right hand too. Okay, whatever basting stitches you don't remove, now you're going to get them with your tweezers and your seam ripper. If you can find where you put those. Did I put them back in here? Where did I put you? Oh, look, it's right here. Because you want to be able to rough up these edges. You want that stitch totally out of there. So you can rough up all 3 edges at once. When it lifts up like that, you know you got it. You got it. Did I get that? Yep. Okay, we're going to grab our chenille cutter, which I have set to large, which I don't know where it is anymore. Here it is. You're going to take that. Here's my blade right here. So I'm set to large. I'm going to put it underneath this layer and make sure you're under all 3 layers and just push. Did I get all 3 layers? 1, 2, 3. I did. And just go right down the center and push. And then you're going to take your chenille brush and you're going to rough everything up. The edges, where these come together. Be as aggressive or as kind as you wish to be, but I think it looks better the more textured it is. So I really like to get in there and get after it. and grab those threads, get them out of there, clean it up, and you're chenilled. Fun! Let's do the next two. Okay, so what did I do for quilting design? So for 2 and 3, I did swirl for one of them and wavy for the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. And let's go ahead and set up our design. So we're going to go ahead and do, sorry. Okay. We can go okay, return. We can ungroup everything. Hit this button, and I don't know if it's letting me ungroup. Let's see if it moves separately. I think it's already ungrouped. I think when you take it back, it ungroups it. So for the first one, there goes my papers. I think I did wavy. And we might have to stitch these out one at a time because I'm not going to be able to make a copy of it because I have different background. So if we go over here, let's just take this one. We'll take that. And let's go. Make sure it's not the pineapple. We're keeping the pineapple. There's the pineapple. We want the outside. We're going to delete it. And now we're going to put in swirl 4x4. So let's add. And those are clear blue tiles. Oops. I think I loaded them here too. Swirls. Swirls. Block by block. 4x4. Block by block means there'll be settings for the batting and all of that. So I know that that needs to go right in the corner. So I'm just going to go edit, move, and I'm going to, because I had it right all the way in the corner. I think I had it one click below. Okay, so now we're going to do this one here. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to hit my select button. There's the pineapple. There, that's on the outside quilting stitch, and there's my pineapple. I'm going to go back to the quilting stitch and just hit delete. Oh, this is the problem, though. The problem is I need to put these two designs down in the back. Oh, I can do that. I can do it in the next page. Okay, we're going to add. And for the quilting design, I want wavy, red, white, and bloom. Red, white, and bloom. Right here. Red, white, and bloom quilting bundle. Wavy. PES. 4x4. Whoop. Whoop. 6x6. 4x6. 4x4. You've got horizontal and you've got vertical. I want horizontal. Just look at what's going to look best with that design. Set it. Edit. Move. And this one's going to go in the right-hand corner, and it should be centered to the pineapple because I didn't move those at all. All right. Order in which these are stitching. This is probably not going to be the right order. So I want to go to this button right here, and I can adjust the order. Let's touch that. Right now, it wants the pineapple first. I don't want that. I want this one. Can I touch it? I want this to be in the top. So I'm going to move it up. There we go. And I want this to be above that one. So I'll move it up. And now we've adjusted the order in which it's going to stitch. Did you know you could do that? That is not a feature in all the machines. I think it's only in the Solaris and the Luminaire where you can adjust the stitching order. All right. Okay. We are ready. But those two need to be on the bottom because if you look at my hooping, that is where I have the space, not up on top. So I want this to all stay combined, right? I can't do that. Well, I could do it here in this page and combine it and hit all those buttons, or else I can just touch embroidery. That is all one design now. I can go layout, move, and I'm going to scoot it all down. And since I have my 9.5 by 14 inch hoop, it's not going to go outside of my embroidery field. Wasn't that great? We are going to stitch out one at a time though. I don't know, maybe there was a quicker way, but this is what I'm doing. And first thing I'm going to do is placement stitch for my batting. batting, placement stitch. You're so beautiful. That other fabric might just be in the way. I'll probably fold it back and tape it. So let me grab my fabric. Which one's 2? Where's my book? So 2 is the one that has the polka dots. The pink and white polka dots. Let's grab that. And actually I have mine labeled right here. Okay, let's lay down your batting and your background fabric. Let's give them a shot of spray first. Remember, wrong side of your batting. Wrong side of your batting. Nubby side. And shape flex side of your background fabric. Shape flex. That's the white side. Don't use too much spray. You don't need it. Okay, we're going to lay this down. Perfect. See that thread? Get it out of there. What if it's behind your white polka dot? You don't want that. This we don't want in the way either. I'm going to give that a little tapey tape just so it's out of the way. You just don't want it stitched down, then it's going to be all thick in your seam, right? Hang on, gotta grab my tape. This is my favorite tape to use. It's transport tape. It's like medical tape. We sell it at the store too. It's called transport. But I like it because look how nicely it rips. And it's super sticky. And you can reuse it. So I'm going to fold this back. I want it out of the way. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. Centered, but not really. Just like that. Right? Because I don't want it to get in the way of this side too. All right. Tack down. We got to skip some steps. This is tack down for the batting. Don't need it. Placement for the background. Don't need it. Tack down for the background. Need it. Here we go. Don't get your finger in the way. And use a contrasting color that you can see. Tickle your fabric so you don't get any bubbles or puckers or weird stuff going on. Okay, let's do the quilting. I'm going to take out my thread and I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to keep that pink lemonade in there because the pink lemonade's so pretty. Where are you, pink lemonade? Oh, here it is. Whoops! That was me throwing my pink lemonade across the room. Okay. Or you know what? Should I do pink lemonade? Should I do white? Can't decide. I'm gonna go. Yeah, let's just leave it pink lemonade. Be a little bit of contrast, but not too much. I'm playing between the idea of pink lemonade and white. And I'm just gonna go pink lemonade. But you use whatever color makes your heart happy. It's almost white, but not quite. And let's get your fabrics. This is pineapple number 2, so we're going to do exactly what we did before. I'm going to go ahead and spray my stem. You have a little bit different fabric. This is the swirls. I'm going to spray my stem and one layer of my pineapple. All right, taking out my pink lemonade. I'm going to put in my corn flour. Oh, actually, oh no, that's right. For a second I thought, I got to put in my thread for quilting, but we just did our quilting. So here we go. Okay, placement stitch for the pineapple. Lay down your pineapple, do your tack down, and then trim. Okay, trim her up. Okay, slide it back on. Color doesn't make a difference. Now we're going to do the stem. Mine's already sprayed and ready to go. Here's my fabric. Where's your date? Doubt it.
Let's stand this.
Yeah, who would stand you up? Good looking guy like you with those really manly legs. I've always thought Patrick had like the skinniest legs ever, and today we went hiking with his friend Mike Solomon, and but Mike had even skinnier legs. Oh my God. I just kept going, how do those hold you up? How can something so skinny be so, because he's a rock star athlete, just like Patrick. And I am amazed at how little legs like that can be so strong and powerful. So I'm not really throwing him on their bus. I'm just amazed at, yeah, just what I said, that they could be so strong and powerful because they're both superstar athletes. I've always had kind of thicker calves. I had to give Violet a pair of my shorts because I bought them and they looked horrible on me. And then I gave them to her and she looked so cute. And I realized they needed to be on skinny, skinny legs. And Violet has long, she's got legs for days. And they're long and skinny. She's got her dad's legs. Both the kids have their dad's legs, long and skinny. Mine are rather, I'd call them short and stocky. Or maybe we'll call them short and powerful. Okay. There we go. All right. You should still have your yellow in there. You're going to do the stitching around the pineapple. And then we'll do the stitching around the pineapple stem. Oh my goodness, are you a pineapple expert? You will be. As far as the large pineapple goes, we could go ahead and hoop up, right? So the large pineapple is, what size hoop is that? 8.5 by, oh, you know what? It's better to look at our handy dandy chart right here. Oh, and I'll add that we're doing 4 in the 9.5 by 14. What happens if you, 9.5 by 9.5, sorry. What happens if you don't have the 9.5 by 9.5? You can use the 9.5 by 14 and just scoot everything up. Or you could do all of these like 1 at a time in your 5 by 7 hoop. Or you could do 2 at a time in your 6 by 10 hoop. So you've got lots of different options. The large pineapple is going to be 6 by 8. So let's go in our 7 by 12. And I'll go ahead and hoop up my 7 by 12 right now so it's ready. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change this out. Let's go ahead and put in our aloe. We're going for the dark look. And then we'll lighten up that dark look with the clover. Oh, looks like Patrick's writing date did show up. Now let me get the 7 by 12 hoop. You know what's going on over here. I'm going to come over here. Here are my magnetic hoops, which you know I've been just loving them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Here's my muslin. Why do I use muslin? I use it because I like the way it feels. And I just kind of clip it as I go. I feel like it's more pliable and like softer than no-show mesh. And if you love it, you can buy it by the bolt too. We sell it by the bolt or we sell it by the yard. And I like the 90-inch, but if you like 45-inch, we have 45-inch too. My 45-inch is rough. I don't know why, but the roll I just bought is super rough. And I was like, is something wrong with this? So I brought home a yard of it and threw it in the laundry, and it came out so soft. And then I was like, well, maybe it's better that it's rough. Not that it's better, but it's like solid feeling. So just know if you order the 45-inch, it's going to be rougher.
We have a visitor.
Meaning?
Puppy.
Huh? Who's here?
Taylor's puppy.
Oh! All right, I'm going to have to pause the video because Taylor is here with his puppy. And who can resist a puppy? Not I. We are hooped and ready to go. If you love this hoop and you want this hoop, it's going to be on sale. Probably end of August at sale at A1 Vacuum and Sewing. Might not be on sale everywhere. But this hoop is normally, sit down, it's pricey, $599.99. But we'll have it on sale for $369.99 end of August or sometime in September. So just send me a note. Be like, I want that hoop, and I'll add you to my list of people that we're getting the hoop for. Hang on. We'll watch this stitch, and we're going to go say hi to the puppy. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back when this is stitched out. All right, so the aloe is done. I'm going to put in my clover, and we're going to stitch that decorative stitch in the stem leaves. my goodness. Hopefully you can't hear that, but the puppy's here. But the puppy wasn't like a puppy. Puppy was really big, but super cute and bearded. Okay, so we're gonna do the decorative stitch, and then we're gonna do, we're gonna lay down your 3 layers. So grab your 3 layers of your swirl if you're using this fabric. We're gonna put the cornflower back in. Remember, I forgot that on the last one. And then we'll do the chenille. And then we are hooped up and ready to go for the large pineapple. Can you believe it? We're getting this done. Next time I film, I am going to stitch out the bicycles, left and right. I have a feeling those are going to take a while. Pineapple. Okay, lay down your 3 pieces of fabric. Let's change your thread out. Not like don't do what I forgot to do last time. Forgot to change out my thread and I had to rip out the stitches. And then make sure you let it stitch the entire thing, because I got all excited and let it do the outside and then I thought I was done. And you also need the stitches on the inside. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's the outside basting stitch. You're going to remove that. And now here's the inside stitches that are going to hold the fabric down for when you chenille it. And then we'll do pineapple 3. How cute is that last pineapple going to be? It's going to be a pink pineapple. Okay, get your double curved, larger scissors. You can use the other ones if you can get through all your layers. Bigger scissors give you a little bit more power. And your chenille brush. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to trim this. Try to get that basting stitch if you can. It'll be that much less to remove. This is when you learn how far you can turn your hand. Now let's get your stitch remover, because we're going to try and cut any of those other stitches out that we can. Wait. did I put you? Stitch remover. Got my chenille brush. Got my... Where did I put it? In the basket? Okay, it's up here. Now you're going to remove those basting stitches. You know what you can do too? When I remove stitches, I pull one stitch from the front, one stitch from the back. Oh, I can't see it. Can I? Okay. And then you can just grab that stitch, lift it up, and it'll pull the back stitch to the front. I don't know if that makes sense. Actually, I don't have that many to remove because I did a good job cutting them. There. No, you guys aren't allowed in. All I can hear is heavy breathing at my door. Can you even see what I'm doing? Sorry, my hand was in the way. And you can check, like if you can lift up the layers, you've got the basting stitch. If you can't lift up the layers, you didn't get it. Okay, now grab your chenille cutter and take it right down the middle. And just push. And then your chenille brush. And rough it up. Where did I put my chenille brush? I don't know. Time to pause the video because I can't see. Whoops, sorry. I don't see my chenille brush. Hang on a second. Found it. Okay. Get it. Get the edges, get in between. And we could do this all at once. I could keep stitching and then we could do this later on, but it's just satisfying. Get it from every direction. Push it up. Go across. Whatever you need to make it look gorge. And get rid of those threads and you can be done. All right, last one. Let me go ahead and slide my hoop on. And we are going to go ahead and do the placement stitch first for the batting. Grab your batting, spray the wrong side, and your background fabric. Spray the wrong side. Lay this down. And your background, the stitch that goes around it is going to be about 1/4 inch. So if you wanted, I think we're close. This is like close. Oops, sorry. I don't think it's going to hit on the other part. So I'm just going to lay this down. I'm going to put it, kind of center it because it's my last one. So I don't really need to worry. I'm going to change out my yellow. And I'm changing out my yellow because I want to fussy cut it. And let's do something that's contrasting. I'll put in my clover. And then I'm going to put my yellow back in for the wavy stitch. You know I love matchy-matchy. Here we go. Whoops. I got to, first of all, attach the embroidery frame. And second of all, I need to skip some stitches. So I'm skipping. That's the tack down for the batting. Don't need it. Placement stitch for the background. Don't need it. And tack down for the background. Need it. So we're going to do that first. Contrast. And then I'm going to put my cornflower back in for the quilting stitch. Okay. Look at your screen. Make sure you're in your quilting stitch. If not, fast forward to it. You need the tack down for your background because that's what you're fussy cutting to. So that's an important stitch. And as far as thread color, let me see what I have. Guess what pink I'm using? I'm using pink. I'm going to use pink. Seems like a better match. So we're going to use... Cute, huh? That wavy stitch is like adorable. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put pink in. It's a better color than the taffy for this. And we are gonna do the placement stitch for the first layer of the pineapple. Go ahead and give this a shot of spray, and don't forget to give your top leaves a shot of spray too. Whoever heard of a pink pineapple? But how much fun is that? There you go. Get your snips. We're going to trim it. Whoops, didn't catch, and you need that stitch. So I'm going to hit my cut button. And anytime it doesn't catch, I'm going to go ahead and check my bobbin thread. Baby puppy is in the backyard. I have to go check on him. The big boys are out for a ride. Puppy's in the back. Poppy was not very friendly. Okay, I'm going to go back to the beginning of that stitch. So ever have to go back to the beginning, that goes to the next step. That'll go back to the beginning of the step that you're on. And then if you hit that one more time, it'll go to the previous step. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim it. We're going to do this, and then we have one more pineapple to do, the big one. And then I'm going to go cuddle puppies. There we go. All right, color doesn't matter for this stem. I'm just going to go ahead and leave in the pink. Although you could change it out to the green if you want. Lay it on your stem. Mine's already sprayed, so I can just lay it down. And you're not putting a ton of spray on there. Just enough to hold it down where it's not going to scoot around. Or you can tape. Okay, let's trim. We're going to trim, and then we're going to do the stitching on the pineapple. So we're going to put our pink back in. We're going to do the decorative trim that the decorative stitch that goes around the outside. Uh-oh. Okay. Is that just the cutest? It's so cute. Pink. My pink's already in. I'm going to let it do the decorative stitching around the pineapple. Cute. All right, now we're going to do the top of the leaves. That's going to be in aloe. That beautiful green that's too dark, but then looks perfect once you do the clover. Sorry about that. My dogs are at the door barking. Beautiful! Beautiful! You are beautiful! I've got 7 minutes of stitching left in this. Sorry! Let me get him out! I'm so sorry about my dogs. All right, let's go ahead and put in Clover. It's going to do that pretty decorative stitch, and then we're going to do the chenille. And we will be done with 2 number 1s, 2 and 3. Okay, get your layers ready. So you should have 3 layers of this pink swirl, or whatever color you're using. And you're going to get your pink back. We're going to put that on to do the chenille. And the bobbin needs to be changed. Go ahead and cut. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and change out our bobbin. I never wait. If it says change out my bobbin, I just change it out because I'm just going to get that warning again. I'm going to go ahead and just throw that away. It does tell you to, and this one's probably going to not last too long, but let's use them up. I use Filtech pre-wound bobbins. I do not wind my own, and 95% of the time, I'm just using white. I'm going to go back 10 stitches, so I'm going to hit return, minus 10, so my stitches overlap. Okay, let's change out to our pink. Pink, beautiful pink. We're almost done, and guess what? I'm going to save my large pineapple for later because they just left the puppy out in the backyard, and I feel bad for the puppy. All right, this is the basting stitch. Basting stitch is going to come out, and then it's going to do the chenille anchoring stitches. Oh, and basting stitch didn't catch for some reason. Hang on. I hear heavy breathing at my door. Did I don't know why he didn't catch. You know why? Okay. You know how they say doctors are the worst patients? Store owners are the worst at getting their machine serviced. And I can just bring it in, cut the line, do whatever I want. But I need my machine. I should have brought it again. That goes to the next color. This goes to the beginning of the color you're on. Or if I hit it one more time. There. I didn't hear it. It would go to the previous color. So here we go. I should have had Patrick bring it in when I was gone, and I didn't. So you know when it's time. I'm way overdue. Okay, and I'm going to grab my 6-inch double curve from Rory's. I'm going to cut around the outside. That's your basting stitch. You try to get those stitches out too, so cut nice and close. And then we'll use our chenille cutter to cut down the middle, in between, right here and right here. And then our chenille brush. And that's all stuff we have at the store too, so if you don't have it, get it. You'll use it. You'll use it if you do lots of Kimberbell. And I know if you're like me, you're somewhat addicted. Okay, here we go. Cut through all your layers. You could do one layer at a time too, if you want. But I try to do all my layers all at once, because why not? If you can, let's do them all. Oh, we've got a little... So it's like I can't stand a crying baby. I can't stand a crying dog either. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and get out those stitches. Let me get my seam ripper. We're taking out the basting to stitches that are holding all the layers down. Because you need to be able to rough up those edges. Okay, little boy. And then Poppy doesn't like me loving up on another dog. I don't think Momo does either. Got to come in this direction. Sorry. Didn't know I was out of view. Okay, if you can lift up the edges, that means you got your basting stitches. So just kind of lift them up like this. I got them all. And now you're going to come in, oops, with your chenille cutter. Almost forgot that. I'm set to large. I can see my blade right there. And I'm going to just take it, put it under my layers. This goes under the layers and just push. Make sure you got all 3 layers. 1, 2. Did I get all 3? 1, 2. Wait, I didn't. Oh, yeah. There's the third. 1, 2, 3. Got them all. And now rough it up from every direction. I gotta say, the pink pineapple might be the cutest. I like to rough it up really well on the edge, through the layers, on the top, around the right side, around the left side, straight down the middle. Whatever you have to do to get it to look good. And I find that if there's threads like this, I can lift them and go ahead and rub, and they'll just break right off. And then you're going to grab your tape and clean it up a little bit. And pineapple 3 is done. 4 pineapples, but this is 1, 2, and 3. All right, on to the large pineapple. I'm going to pause this though, and I will come back and do that large pineapple.